Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm wearing my mic today, so hopefully the sound is better. I watched a couple videos on setting it up yesterday, and I don't think I really have to do much. I just plugged the receiver into my phone, and I've discovered why I needed that little extra piece, the adapter. It's because you can use the transmitter, this part by itself, as just a Bluetooth mic, but it compresses the audio used that way, and it's not as good. Like, if you're gonna spend the money on a mic, you might as well get the highest, use it to its highest potential, I suppose. So the receiver is important for that. So I'm glad I got the adapter and then got the right adapter. I'm not thrilled that I bought the wrong adapter first, but whatever. Water under the bridge, right? I am still feeling burnt out, and while I started yesterday out feeling better than I had the past 2 days, I did have a couple moments at work where I felt like I might just lose it. I might either start crying, or I was like this close to telling a project manager to just leave me alone. Because she kept wanting me to change stuff, and it wasn't entirely my fault. Part of it was lack of communication, and every time she came to talk to me, I like, my fight or flight instinct kicked in, like my heart rate went up. I felt thready, and like, I don't know how to explain that, like, thready feeling, but like, I don't know, both weak and poised to run at the same time. It's a very strange feeling. And I somehow managed to remain civil and remain in my chair. I did tell her that I was feeling very overwhelmed and that I have a lot going on in my personal life as well. And she said she totally gets it. And I actually do know that she totally gets it. She has a lot going on in her life as well. And she also deals with anxiety. And she was like, she's like, remember to breathe, although it doesn't always help. And I was like, I know, I keep focusing on having longer exhales and inhales because it's supposed to signal to your body that you're safe, but I still don't feel safe. And she was like, I know exactly what you mean. And again, like, I'm grateful for the validation, but why the fuck are we all in this state? This is ridiculous. It's uncalled for. We're not actually in physical danger. We're not. Why is the work culture like this? It's so unnecessary. And knowing that doesn't make my lizard brain any more comfortable with the situation at all. It refuses to acknowledge that I am safe. And I think because I'm in this burnt out state, and maybe this is what Spirit is trying to do. I'm finally so burnt out that I can't hold back all my stored up, pent up feelings about things I've experienced basically for my whole life. And because I don't have the energy to talk myself out of it anymore, all this stuff is just rolling forward out of me. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. And I'm gonna read a little bit from my journal yesterday. reading it back, I feel like it sounds kind of petty and whiny and like I'm a victim, but this is why journaling is so important, and I'm going to share it with you because like this part of me exists and it's there whether I express it or not. And if I don't express it, it finds ways to express itself. So I'm just going to share it with you, and you can judge me if you'd like. But I think it's important that we normalize all of our feelings, and I think kind of up until these past few days, I haven't really understood exactly what spiritual and emotional bypassing even are completely. But having written this and then reading it back and realizing that part of me doesn't think it's valid, and part of me thinks it's petty, and part of me thinks that it's the victim mindset that I shy away from so much because I don't want to continue to attract situations where I am a victim, and feeling disempowered can do that. But if there's a part of me that already feels disempowered, I need to look at it and acknowledge it and honor it in order to figure out how to empower it, I guess. I'm not entirely sure, but that's where I'm at right now. So I'm going to read this. I'm not entirely sure if there's stuff that I'll have to edit out as I read. I don't think so, but if I start and stop awkwardly, I apologize. I might just try to read it and then cut things out that I don't want to be in the recording. That might be a smoother way of doing it. We shall see. Anyway, buckle up. Speaking of aggravating, why have so many people in my life, for my entire life, expected me to be better than others in my ability to manage, suppress, in ellipses, my anger? Why am I always the one who has to stuff it down? Why do people tend to put me on a pedestal I never asked to be on? And then have the gall to be disappointed with me when I inevitably topple off. I didn't put me in that ridiculously precarious position. You did. How dare you be angry with me for failing to meet metrics I never agreed to? I think this is true of a lot of life, actually. I never signed up to be good, to be benevolent, magnanimous, and infinitely generous in every situation. I've been feeling the subtle hints of anger bubbling up from deep beneath my surface consciousness about several people in my life. I also feel pretty strong resistance toward allowing that anger to come forth. The resistance feels like an attachment to the narrative that I am a bad friend and partner, and that I did them dirty by not being more patient, more forgiving, and a better communicator of my needs. My narrative blames me for not trying hard enough to make my needs clear in a way that was understandable to them. It's my fault for setting them up to fail as friends by not giving them clear expectations to follow. Like, pay back the fucking loan you guilted out of me, and even wrote a letter promising to pay back within a certain time period. And maybe, can you please not use my grandparents' tumblers as your fucking ashtray and varnish jar? I mean, maybe they just didn't know how much those things meant to me and affected me, right? How dare I be mad at them if I didn't clearly explain how much that money would have helped me feel safer, and any consistent effort at paying me back would have shown me that you valued my friendship and my resources. And perhaps it is also my fault that I didn't explain that I care about my belongings and the things that my grandparents left to me and would like them treated with respect. I just didn't explain it well enough. And as I was writing this, I was also reading it, and I was like, what the fuck? That's bullshit. Like, if I have to explain that to you, what planet we are from different planets. We are from different planets. Like, it made me so angry because I never would have done those things to them. I never would use someone else's glassware as my ashtray or varnish jar in the garage. If I borrowed money from someone, I would make sure that I made consistent payments back to them, even if it meant sacrificing my eyelash extensions. I am clearly bitter about some eyelash extensions that were purchased while someone owed me money. No shade against eyelash extensions, but are they necessary when you're avoiding paying back a loan that you promised to pay back in a certain time period and it's like a year later and you haven't made a single payment? I think I'm allowed to be mad about that. I'm going to allow that anger. And while feeling all of this and feeling this burnout, I've just felt so unhinged and unmoored and like totally out of control of my life and my circumstances. And I do not like feeling like that. It feels disempowering and like I am a victim of my circumstances. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that I am. I always believe that I have the power to change things. But like, I feel like every time I start to feel like I have a hold on things, something else happens to knock me off balance again. And so I've mentioned that I've studied shamanism before, and I do connect with one of my power animals every morning and every night, but it's a protective power animal, and I don't really talk to it. But I have another power animal that is my main like guide, and I don't talk to it nearly often enough. I think I'm going to start incorporating that into my practice more often. But last night I decided, you know what? I am at a loss. I am at my wit's end. I need to go visit this particular power animal. And it wishes to remain anonymous, which is why I am being oblique. I'm not sure that's the right word, but anyway, I can tell you what my journey entailed, though. I journeyed to him and I asked, like, what is the meaning of all this? Like, what do I need to do? And he told me that I must first sink all the way to the bottom of my current despair, just like I used to sink all the way to the bottom of the deep end of my grandparents' pool, let all my breath out and sit down at the bottom. In that case, I found it very peaceful, but until I felt like I desperately needed breath, and then I would shove off the bottom with all my might and jet to the surface to take a big, glorious breath of air. But he says to do that, but with my despair, and to get comfortable down there. And that I must sit with all this anger and judgment and terror and victimhood and disempowerment, and I must feel it all. I must feel it all the way through. And here goes my throat again. Until they naturally pass through me and evaporate on their own. At that point, I can push off the bottom and jet back up possibly to higher than I've ever known before. If I don't allow myself to sink all the way down, though, I'm going to get stuck in the middle, floundering around uselessly, like flailing my arms and legs and getting absolutely nowhere. And I'll struggle fruitlessly in miserable limbo. He reminded me that what I resist persists. I need to allow it all and feel it fully without judgment, expectation, or time limit. It will lift when it lifts and not before, no matter what mental gymnastics I perform. It's not the answer I wanted to hear, but I will say that I felt immediate calm and love, and I felt so very supported somehow in hearing that answer from him. And I don't really get it, since it's not the answer I wanted at all. But it is what it is. So I am going to try with all of my heart and mind to do that. To just allow these uncomfortable feelings to be there and to get through every day while feeling that way. And if it means I cry at work, it means I cry at work, I guess. I forgot to pull a card from my Natalie Goldberg deck yesterday. So I guess some days we'll do it and some days we won't. But when I remember, I will pull a topic prompt for you. Okay, so this is topic 2 on journal topics, writing topics. Now go for 10 minutes on what I'm not thinking of. How can you write what is not there? Oh, it's there. It just hasn't risen up to consciousness. Your writing will make it present. Pen to paper, what I'm not thinking of. Now I mentioned this card obliquely the day before yesterday. I wrote on it, and it brought up so many weird things. Like I had to get like this jumble of topics out onto paper, one after the other, before I got down to stuff that really needed to come out, like snails and skiing and rocking chairs and like just all this stuff that I wasn't thinking about bubbled up to the surface. It was amazing. It was kind of amazing and enjoyable and really fun. And it seems like a potential way to find things to talk about if you're struggling. So I really like this topic, what I'm not thinking of. And I did not braid my hair today. I could keep going and braid, but I think I'm going to leave it like that. I think it is a complete episode. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here, especially if you're still here at the end. I love you so much. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be wealthy. May you feel at ease. And may you allow all of your emotions, whatever they may be. All right. Until next time. Bye-bye.